But as believers, we need to understand that boundaries are not these things. For us, they're guides to help us steward our hearts, minds, and souls and bodies more responsibly. By placing God at the center, instead of the demands and protections of our needs and wants, we can shift our perspective from rights to responsibilities, and will transform how we interact with others and ourselves. When you approach boundaries as a responsibility instead of a right, it doesn't diminish the importance of protecting ourselves. Instead, it frames our protection as part of a broader duty to live righteously and obediently to God. This is especially true in marriage and so important. Oh my goodness, this would have helped me out so much when I was married to Dean. He would have left way earlier and I would have experienced much less abuse from him. I used to believe that I was owed my rights in marriage, and this is what contributed to my blindness, and I selfishly focused on what I could get from him or what he was supposed to give me that he wasn't, or how he was supposed to treat me better than how he was treating me. It probably sounds like now I'm going to expound on how you're supposed to focus on giving in marriage instead of receiving. I'm not going to do that to you, because that's what kept happening to me. Giving is better than getting, but I was wrong about how I understood that concept and how I applied it, and that was especially dangerous for me because of the kind of man I was married to. I didn't use my head and test my feelings. Philippians 1, verses 9 through 11. Giving can be wrong, just like love can be wrong. It absolutely is more blessed to give than receive. Acts 20, verse 35. And that is so important in marriage. But it's a matter of what it is that you're giving. Are you giving lies or truth? Are you facilitating the enabling of sin or fostering righteousness? It's not about getting. Boundaries aren't about getting something from someone or getting them to do something or getting them to stop doing something. It's not about getting at all. It's about guarding through stewardship. Boundaries are about ownership, complete ownership of yourself as a daughter of God, not as a son, as a daughter. Earlier when I said that we're not our own, we were bought with a price, God owns us. He owns his church and every single member in that church. And that means your created individuality. 1 Corinthians 12, verse 12. All your feminine heart, all your feminine soul, and all your feminine body. You know that in the Old Testament, God promised Canaan to the Israelites. It belongs to them. God already claimed it, but they had to conquer what God had already assigned to them. They had to exercise extreme ownership over every parcel of land as it was reclaimed from the enemy. That's exactly what we do. We are the kingdom. If you're a born-again believer, your boundaries begin and end with your responsibility to God